refuse to take my stepniece on a trip because of her parents' behavior.
If they don't deserve to go, neither does she.
I, 35 female, live and work abroad, but am from the Midwest. I grew up with my brother Jason, 43 male, and our parents, 70s. We were working class, had what we needed, but weren't well off by any means. By the way, this comes from F you, Jenny. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit.
Only if your name is as cool as that
Yeah.
one, though.
Yeah. When I was in high school, Jason married Tiffany, 40 female, a hot mess of a person who was a heavy drinker and a partier. She was gorgeous, though, and my brother is a dweeb, to put it nicely. They had 3 kids, Jace, 19 male, Jeff, 17 male, and Hannah, 12 female. Their marriage fell apart before Hannah was born. They tried working it out, but ultimately divorced, with Jason working constantly while splitting custody 50-50 with Tiffany, who received child support and alimony as a former stay-at-home mom. Jason then started dating Jenny. There she is.
We found her.
F you, Jenny. 43 female. I liked her initially. She wasn't a complete smoke show like Tiffany, but she was kind, educated, and had a good job. Much better match, I thought. Jenny got pregnant fairly quickly with Daisy, 10 female, and they married. Around this time, the older kids started refusing to go back to their moms because Tiffany was always drinking and having random guys around. Yikes. All 3 moved in full-time with Jason and Jenny, and Tiffany eventually left town entirely. Here's when things went sideways. Jenny completely changed after becoming a stepmother to 3 full-time kids, plus having her own baby. She quit working, but declared she was only a stay-at-home mom to her kid. No. Once you get married to someone who has kids, you got to be ready for those all to be your kids, especially if the mom isn't in the picture.
Yeah. Also, like, if you are a stay-at-home mom, most of the time when they're not at school, what that means is, like, you're cooking for the family.
Yeah.
You're cleaning stuff. So what is that?
What is she
How
doing?
are you only a stay-at-home mom for 1 kid, though? Like, are you not going to clean 75% of the house or something like that?
She
like,
only picks up after her kid.
Yeah.
And she only makes food for her kid. And the rest of the kids, she's like, sorry.
You're on your own.
Not my children.
Yeah.
Despite Jason working 70 plus hours to make ends meet and Jenny's parents helping financially. Dang.
Yikes.
So he's paying for all of the kids. And she's like, well, I'm only going to care for one.
And she's like, well, that's your choice. You didn't have to do that.
I didn't force you to do any of this.
Yeah.
She controlled the money and created a clear hierarchy. Jason, Jenny, and Daisy operated as one family unit, going to dinners, events, and vacations while leaving the older 3 at home. I thought this was disgusting and said so, but Jason just said his divorce had broken him emotionally and he'd do anything to keep Jenny happy so this marriage would work. 10 years ago, I was younger, broker, and frankly dumber, so my attitude was more, my brother sucks as a dad, but I live on another continent. All I can do is support the kids. Not great, and I'm disappointed in myself looking back on it. I really did my best to step up when they refused to pay for Jace to learn driving, even though Jenny wouldn't drive the kids anywhere. My mom taught him and I bought him a used car. Good on you. That's good. We had to shame Jason into putting Jace on his insurance. And he makes Jace pay for it. You suck as a father. Oh my gosh.
Dude.
Same story with Jeff. They share the car for all the kids' activities. My wife and I were child-free and made the older 3 kids our sole beneficiaries after learning that Jenny and Jason plan to leave them only the bare minimum, with everything going to Daisy.
Oh my
Literally, this
God.
guy should not be a father.
No.
6 years ago, after we married, we started taking the older kids on annual trips when we visit the U.S. Nothing fancy. We're well off, but not billionaires. Just week-long trips to Florida, Utah, California. They're outdoorsy kids and have a blast every year. We time these trips when Jason takes Jenny and Daisy on their own vacations, so there's no conflict. This year, we planned a fall trip to Maine instead of our usual summer vacation because Jace got an internship. When I told Jason the dates, he said, we need to start including Daisy. And then I literally would just go, oh, then you need to start including your own kids on your trips that you go on.
Yeah, what?
Jenny's parents made bad investments and can't help financially anymore. That sucks.
I'm not surprised.
Jenny's looking for work, but since her parents always funded their trips, they can't afford one this year. Here's the brutal truth. Even if everything were fair, I wouldn't want to take Daisy. She's a huge brat. Spoiled, mean, and constantly bragging about things she gets that her siblings don't. She once told me the older kids weren't her siblings. They were Tiffany's kids, which her mom is telling her.
Oh, of course.
Which is so sad because this kid is just being brainwashed into hating her other siblings.
Right. I mean, like earlier you said that he can't be that good of a parent to Daisy either. And like, yeah.
It's clear that he's not.
Right. I mean, with doing all of this stuff and that separation, it's not just bad because he's neglecting. It's bad because he's also spoiling this kid.
She throws toddler-level tantrums on holidays if she doesn't get as much and more than the other kids. Years ago, she told my wife and me we were going to heck, which Jenny barely disciplined her for because Jenny is telling her these things.
Yikes,
It's like, of course, her mom is not going to discipline her for this.
Of course.
Because she's the one encouraging this behavior.
Yeah. I mean, like, what?
No kid just says, you're going to heck.
Yeah, because,
Unless
like,
their
they
parents
got,
say
like, more toys than you or more, like, snacks. I don't know. Like, that's not something that kids learn on their own.
Nope. Since Jenny waits on her hand and foot, she's also a complete slob. How old is Daisy by now? I'm wondering.
I'm wondering, too.
I feel terrible saying this about a child, and I hope she grows out of it, but there's no way I want to take her on vacation. When I told Jason we couldn't handle all 4 kids and would stick to just the 5 of us, he suggested Jenny could come help. Absolutely not. Or our mom could join. She's getting a hip replacement next month and doesn't want to go. Plus, we'd need a bigger car, probably 2 cars, for a road trip with that many people. And honestly, I don't want to. At the end of the day, I just don't want to.
We could make it work, but I just don't
OP's
want
like,
to.
we could afford it. We could make it work.
Yeah.
I just hate this kid.
Yeah.
Since Jason couldn't convince me, they've started shaming us online. It's working with their friends and Jenny's family, though even my dad told me to stick to my pew-pews. But then my wife came to me with a hard question. Are we even better than Jenny if we're favoring some kids over another just because we don't like their mom? Before we were evening things out, but now we're obviously favoring the oldest 3. She said it's my family and my decision, but asked me to think about the long-term health of our family relationships. My gut says take just the older 3, but Daisy's only 10. Okay, so I don't know how old the older 3 are now.
I don't know either. One of them's old enough
to drive.
Yeah, and have an internship.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
She's not to blame for her parents' behavior. Would it make me an evil aunt to leave her out? And there is an update, folks. A quick clarification. Daisy isn't constantly some Veruca Salt-esque monster child. She can be a brat, but she's also funny and caring. She's the only grandchild who has stuck with the church choir that my mom runs, even though I don't think she loves it. Also, she always calls my wife and me on our birthdays, and when their dog was too old to go upstairs, she brought her mattress downstairs and slept next to her every night before she passed away so she wouldn't be lonely.
Aww.
People aren't cartoon villains, and please stop attacking a 10-year-old. I mean, OP, you literally said that you kind of hated this 10-year-old.
Yeah.
You're like, this 10-year-old sucks.
Right,
and then are surprised that everyone is attacking this 10-year-old.
Yeah, so it's like, good thing that you added those in there because that last part is actually really sweet.
No, I think it's important.
But yeah, I mean, like, what do you expect from the internet?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't reply to direct messages. I didn't feel comfortable doing that. I don't know if that account people were messaging me was Jenny's, and I honestly wouldn't change anything. I did change some small details for anonymity, and it would be a shame if there's more than one person out there like her. Just a reminder that I live half the world away, a 15-hour minimum plane ride. I can't just pop over, and there are time zone issues. I also do well for myself, but don't have unlimited money, so stop telling me to take Daisy on trial trips and buy a 4-bedroom house for the oldest 3 to live in, lol.
Whoa.
Keep in mind, I live in remote, mostly rural areas, not bustling metropolises with vibrant expat communities and international schools. It's the nature of the job. I worked hard for it, and it's not conducive to having kids or young adults living with me. I'm not a messy person, and I don't do social media drama, so I've been ignoring Jason and Jenny's little vague booking campaign. I wasn't even going to update until I got some background information. But basically, I got a call from my brother last weekend. It was Daisy crying, telling me she would be good and she's sorry for being bad, that she wants to go on the trip, and promising she'll be quiet and not say anything rude. It was heartbreaking. Oh, her parents are so bad.
I know.
She was saying she was going to find a way to show me, my wife, and her parents that she was good and not a bad person and everything would be okay.
Aww.
I tried calming her down and assured her that both her aunts love her very much and don't think she's a bad person at all. My brother took the phone and said, "See what you've done?" Oh my God, wait, no. No. Was he just manipulating? No. Did he go to little freaking Daisy and say, "Your aunt thinks you're a terrible person. She hates you. And that's why you're not going on the trip. Go tell her you're upset about that." Because I bet he freaking did.
That is so crazy, dude.
He's literally like playing with his daughter, his 10-year-old daughter's emotions.
Yeah.
I tried calling back, but he didn't answer. I texted my mom as well as Jace and Jeff to see what was going on. Of course, I wake up to a post about how cruel people can be to innocent children. Between my mom and Jeff, I got some background info. I don't know where all their money goes or what happened to Jenny's parents, but their financial situation is bad, as in asking my fixed low-income parents for money for Daisy's tuition bad. Dang. So because they were seemingly pretty well off if they were paying for all of Daisy and her parents, like if they were paying for all of Daisy and her parents' vacations and now have to ask for tuition help like that.
Yeah.
Clearly lost kind of everything,
right.
Probably. Jenny and my brother had told Daisy she'd have to pick between vacation and her school, and she picked school?
Well,
I'm sorry, what? But since it's taken Jenny longer than expected to find a job, they can no longer swing that either. Yeah, so now she can't even go to school. They can't even afford that.
Dang, dude.
And she's probably going to like some fancy pants private school.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
If they're trying to pay for the tuition. And it seems like they're not willing to look into public school.
Well, I'm wondering, I thought the tuition was talking about college fund.
Jenny's 10.
Well, I know, but like for future, I just assumed,
I don't think so.
Guess. I could be wrong.
I think they're just talking about like her school.
Oh,
tuition.
like current school.
Yeah.
Dang.
I know you all think she's a little demon, but my heart broke for her with that. And yes, I'm not getting into it because I'll rage for too long, but the older three have always gone to public school. I freaking called it. I do think it was Jenny's parents paying the tuition though. According to Jeff, Daisy is getting older and having more of her own opinions. And Jenny doesn't like that. Yeah. When she found out she couldn't go back to her school, she asked about a trip. And my brother told Jenny I had said no. She told Daisy she couldn't go because she was bad. Yep. Call that too.
Dang.
Heartbreaking and just A+ parenting all around. By the way, we'd give you an A+ if you listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime. But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
Just these guys, man.
Yeah, these parents suck.
Yeah, we need OP to call the parents and be like, "Hey, love to talk to Daisy," and then tell Daisy, "Hey, girl, that's not true."
Yeah, say like the only reason, you haven't been going on these trips before is because your parents didn't want to bring your siblings.
Yeah. And
so I want to do something special for them. And then I think that you should. I honestly think that you should take her.
For sure.
I think that if her other siblings are like, "Oh, why are you inviting Daisy? Blah, blah, blah." It's like, you guys are siblings.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the end of all of this. Jeff needs to be more discreet, but he told me Jenny was losing it because of Botox and Ozempic withdrawal.
Oh my God.
Jenny sounds like a nightmare. He did say the house wasn't as bad as you think. She mostly ignores them and continues that pattern. He works, and Hannah has spent most of the summer at her best friend's house. One quick thing. I know everyone is worried about my nephews and niece and think they live horrible, miserable lives, and this vacation is the only bright spot of the year. Yes, their lives are completely unfair, and I feel awful for them, but they're happy kids. From what Jace has told me, since Jenny had Daisy, they've always kind of treated her like an eccentric roommate that their dweeb of a dad is sleeping with. They're not all rude and screaming at one another, more polite indifference. They also do care a lot about Daisy and would never ask me to leave her at home. It's me that doesn't want to bring her because she needs a parent with her. And as Drill would say, I would face God and walk backwards into heck before I ever invited, much less paid for Jenny to come with us. I don't think she does need a parent with her. Why does she need a parent with her? If Jenny says I need to come along, say, "Oh, sorry, I can't afford it. I'll take Daisy, but I can't afford to bring you guys along."
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
There you
Sorry,
go.
this is aunt and nibblings only.
Yeah, exactly.
No mothers allowed. 'Cause you
Right.
suck.
I want to press charges on my kid's aunt because she's trying to take advantage of me.
You're under arrest.
I'm a 38-year-old male, and right after I got out of the military, I met my wife. At the time, she was a nanny for a set of twins whose mother, Lydia, had undergone a double lung and kidney transplant right after they were born. Their father is a heavy drinker who always promises to visit but never shows up, or if he does, he's plastered. My wife started caring for the twins when they were 11 months old before and after school while she attended college. Wow. By the way, this comes from Admirable Duty 41, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, when I started dating my wife, she said, "Hey, we're a package deal." I didn't blink an eye and said, "Let's go." The twins were amazing and took to me like bees to honey.
Oh.
A is the boy twin. We'll call him Alan. Sure. And B is the girl twin. What should her name be?
Betty.
Alan and Betty. As time went on, we'd hang out with them and take them on outings. They were our flower girl and ring bearer at our wedding. How cute. Right after we got married, Lydia sat us down and said her body was rejecting her lungs and she didn't know how much time she had. Oh, wow.
And again, Lydia is the mom.
Yes.
Okay.
She had originally planned to have her sister, Sachelle, take the twins if something happened to her, but when Lydia told Sachelle about her body rejecting the lungs, Sachelle responded, "Okay, well, I'll take care of your money for you, but your kids need to go somewhere else."
I'll take your money, but not your kids is crazy work.
Yeah. When Lydia said she didn't have anywhere else for them to go, Sachelle suggested foster care. That's when Lydia
crazy
knew.
Work.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that some people just can't take care of kids or like aren't equipped for the task, but to be like, I'll take your money.
Yeah,
I don't care about your kids.
Take care of the money, but yeah, no, that's pretty wild. That's when Lydia knew what she had to do. Later that day, after my wife put the twins to bed, Lydia asked if we would take and raise them if something happened to her. My wife said she needed to talk to me first. That night when I got home from work, my wife said, "Hey, we need to have a talk," and told me about Lydia's request. I immediately said, "Heck yeah." She asked if I was sure, and I said our whole relationship has been with them, and I can't imagine one more day without them. Over the next month, Lydia arranged for us to take custody. That's so sweet.
I'm thinking, I'm ICUing, and I'm thinking that Sachelle is gonna make trouble.
Oh no.
She's gonna be like, "Well, I'm next to kin, so." I don't know. I feel like
they're all gonna get really rich.
Yeah.
They're all gonna start doing family TikToks and get really rich, and she's gonna be like, "Oh well,
I'm their aunt.
I can take care of the money for you."
Yeah.
We went to court, signed the paperwork, and officially became their guardians when the twins were 6. Over the following months, Lydia started to stabilize, and we hoped she'd pull through and watch them grow into adults. My wife and I began having biological kids of our own, but included the twins in every milestone. Although the twins still lived with Lydia, we made sure we were at every choir concert, wrestling match, track meet, scout troop, and volleyball competition. In September of last year, Lydia found out that she developed that had spread everywhere. Oh my goodness.
That's so sad.
Doctors said she'd be lucky to see Halloween. And this is September that she found out. Oh. We'd prepared for this. We knew it would happen eventually, just not when. Sachelle started coming around more. In early October, Lydia, Sachelle, and us sat down to discuss what would happen when she passed. Lydia decided that Sachelle would handle the financial side and put all her money in a trust for the kids, while we'd take care of the children. We asked about the process if the kids needed anything, and Sachelle said, "Oh, you just text me, and if it's a need I think is legitimate, I'll pay for it."
Dude, I don't trust this at all.
I don't trust that at all, because
I'm sorry.
if we look at it super objectively, if the roles were reversed and OP Sachelle, like, I could understand not trusting someone else.
Sure, I'd be like, yeah, I want to make sure that my sister's money is being handled properly and that they're not going to abuse it.
Yeah, like, you can't just ask for it for, like, oh, the kids need this when you're spending it on, like, your own things, you know?
However, when your sister says, "I don't want to take your kids, but I'll take your money," I don't trust her to give that money out fairly.
No, also, yeah, because then if she doesn't want to take care of kids, how is she going to even know if it's a need that's legitimate?
Yeah, what does she know about raising kids?
Yeah.
And also, she wanted to take care of the money before OP was even in the picture. She was saying, oh, send them into foster care. I don't even think she was planning on giving that money to the kids.
Oh, yeah, probably not.
So, like, what's to say that she would do that now?
Yeah, so that's exactly where this is going, and I don't like it.
Mm-mm.
This sounded off to us, but it's what Lydia wanted, and we'd figured we'd just pay for things ourselves if needed anyway. After that meeting, Lydia began declining aggressively. On or around December 3rd, Seychelle had a conversation with Betty about Lydia's jewelry, diamonds, rings, necklaces, asking where Lydia kept the valuable items. When Betty said that she wasn't sure and asked why, Seychelle said that she wanted to take them to a safety deposit box at a bank for safekeeping to give to the twins later. Seychelle then told Betty that the doctor had increased Lydia's medication, so she'd be passing away in the next day or two.
Is she telling the truth?
I don't know, but she's literally telling a child this.
I don't know if she's telling the truth.
I would not believe her.
I feel like she's like lying so that Betty tells her where the jewelry is.
Yeah. Upon investigation, there was no medication increase by any doctor. Later that day, I went to check on Lydia and the twins. When I walked into the house, I saw Seychelle putting jewelry into her bag. I asked what she was doing, and she said that she was taking the jewelry to put into a safety deposit box for the kids' safety. I asked which bank she was taking it to, but she ignored the question. I then asked if Lydia knew that she was taking the jewelry, and Seychelle stated, well, the mom doesn't know what's going on, so it's not her decision. I told her she's not gone or unconscious, and she does have a say. I went to ask Lydia about it, but she was asleep from morphine that had been given to her earlier by either Seychelle or Lydia's father. I asked what else had been taken from the house without Lydia's knowledge. Seychelle said that she was the executor of the will and in charge of everything anyway. I explained that nothing should be taken without Lydia's or the kids' consent. It was at this point that the hospice company noticed an increase in the morphine administered by Seychelle or Lydia's father. Adult Protective Services was called to investigate. Adult Protective Services instructed them to allow access to anyone Lydia wanted to see, including friends, family, nurses, and attorneys. Once Lydia evened out from the over-medication, she asked, what's going on? Nobody is telling me anything. Betty told her everything that had been happening. Lydia called Seychelle, who said that she'd do whatever Lydia wanted, that it was all Lydia's money, including investments and bank accounts, to be put in the trust for the kids. That's when Lydia called her attorney back and said that she wanted to change the will to list me as sole executor and my wife and me as trustees of the trust for the twins.
Well, it's clear.
That's
I mean,
great.
she's like maybe bodily not able to do a lot, but like mentally it seems like she's still fine.
Yeah.
And to find out that your sister has been giving you way more morphine than you're supposed to be giving and stealing your jewelry, like if I were Lydia, I'd be like, yeah, I don't want you to be my executor.
Yeah, this kid, Betty, is like, you know, can't help but being honest because she's a child. I forget how old, but she seems a little older than I thought. But anyway, Betty's like spilling all the tea and then she's hearing all the lies, seeing straight through it. Seychelle, can't get away with this one. In the early hours of January 5th, Lydia called the twins into her room and said happy birthday and one last goodbye. She got to see them turn 15.
Oh, so they wow.
Yeah, they're
wow. So they were 6, I think. Am I
like
crazy?
At the beginning of the story.
When she first got sick and when OP first got custody, or not custody, but like guardianship, I think.
I don't know if I think it was 6 when OP met the kids. Like when OP met his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what it is.
Wow.
But yeah, wow. And I mean also too, I mean the doctor said like she'd be lucky if she saw it Halloween and it's January now.
Yeah.
So
wow.
She's hanging in there, but it was a tough rest of the day. As the days led up to the funeral, we heard rumors from family members that Seychelle was planning something. The day of the funeral, Seychelle attempted to block the twins and us from attending. I spoke to the funeral director who told her that wasn't going to happen. She sat in the back and sulked while the twins and us grieved for their mom. After the funeral, I was appointed sole executor of Lydia's will and estate. I asked the judge what could be done if Seychelle wouldn't return the items, and he said that he could help with the court order. Since Lydia's passing, we've reached out to Seychelle to get all items taken from the house without consent returned. This includes the jewelry, vehicle titles, keys to Lydia's residence, copies of the children's social security cards and birth certificates, and $180,000 that was in Lydia's bank accounts that Seychelle transferred to her own account.
Yeah, get all of that back.
Oh my gosh, why would she even, like, I get the money and stuff, but why would she take the birth certificates? Like, is she planning, like, identity fraud too?
Probably she can be like, if anyone says like, oh, that's for the kids, she can be like, well, I have their social securities.
Yeah.
I can transfer it over.
Oh my gosh.
She's got proof that she has,
crazy.
Can access this stuff.
Yikes, dude. Seychelle has admitted to having the jewelry to Lydia's attorney, but says that she just doesn't want to give it back. I filed a theft report, and it's waiting on the DA to decide if they'll press charges. There are some comments, but before we hear those, I would love to hear yours.
Dude, I mean, I feel like you guys are going ahead as well as you could be.
Yeah.
Because she's actively just trying to steal everything from her, like, deceased sister.
Yeah, literally, the attorneys are like, hey, can you, like, give back the money that you took without consent? She's like, don't really feel
yes,
it.
I did take it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep it.
But yeah, I want it, though.
I took it because I want it. I don't know if you consider that.
Right, like I thought that was like that would hold up in court.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and they're
really,
like, man, why did you take the money? I wanted it.
Yeah, like, Your Honor, I just like it.
Your Honor,
pretty.
I robbed the bank because I wanted to.
I don't see what the problem is.
Your Honor, I plead not guilty.
But there are some comments. Comment number 1 says, not the a-hole, and thank you for fighting for these children.
Yes.
I hope everything works out in these children's favor. I was wondering, though, is Seychelle not going to face any charges for increasing the mother's dosage to take her possessions without permission? Did APS not consider this a criminal act? Will the judge who ordered the return of the items and money consider this an arrestable offense? How long does she have until there is a warrant? I'll be keeping an eye out for an update. Wishing you and the children the strength to be able to grieve safely. Sorry if these are too many questions. Obviously, please don't answer if you don't want to. Have a wonderful day with your family.
That's commenter.
An OP response, APS dropped the case when the mom passed, which blew my mind. T, who I'm guessing is some sort of attorney in the situation, said, oh, we only filed charges if she was still doing it. I'm working on it, but the lawyer that Seychelle has was the old district attorney, and the DA's office said that they trust him to convince her to give it back eventually.
That's crazy.
And you would be doing the right thing if you went to your favorite podcast app and search OK Storytime. Just go to Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, whatever you want. And you're going to find full episodes with more stories just like this one. Comment number 2 says, not the a-hole. Sounds to me that pursuing a legal remedy is your only viable option. Seychelle sounds like a piece of work that can only be trusted to put her own interests before anyone else's. And OP responds, that's if the DA will press charges. Comment number 3 says, not the a-hole. Unfortunately, Lydia, rest in peace, should have had the trust administered by a neutral third party, including access to valuables in a safe deposit box, itemized and listed in the trust. The important part is you have been and are family to these children. Just make sure to do things without malice through your attorney. $180K is no small amount of money. You have to follow through legally. OP says, yes, I wish the mom would have listed items specifically, and when she passed, had all her accounts be listed as paid on passing to the trust. But that's what the aunt was supposed to do. And that's it. That's all we got.
No.
Oh my gosh, we don't have an update.
Oh, man.
That's insane.
Well, good luck, OP.
Good luck, OP.
I mean, props to you for really taking care of these kids that, I mean, like, it really feels like OP started dating his partner, was told that the kids were, like, part of the deal.
Yeah.
And then was like, yeah, totally on board. And then was told, like, okay, we're literally going to become guardians to these kids.
Yeah.
And was like, yeah, let's do it.
Easy.
And then was told that the mother was passing away, so they'd have to, like, literally adopt these kids.
Yeah.
A lot, but you're doing really well.
You're definitely doing the right thing.
My family is ruining my wedding experience. Now they don't get to attend.
That's right. Get out of there.
I got engaged in November 2024. We planned our wedding for November 2025. Ooh. coming up.
Nice.
So it was pretty quick. I'm 31, female, and my fiance is 35, male. I have 3 children that are not his biological children and have 6 sisters. Most of my life, I have been the black sheep of the family. I don't talk to my family every day, mainly because it's exhausting, a lot of drama, and always BS, and I choose my mental peace over that life. By the way, this comes from prestigious car 6688 on the r/charlottedobreyoutube YouTube subreddit. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, I knew I wanted my friends in the wedding because they are my support system and always there for me. I planned on asking 2 of my sisters out of the 6, one being too young for my wedding party, the other 2 I'm not very close with, and my other one passed away 2 years ago. Oh.
Wow.
So let's start with the sisters I was putting in. Let's call them Beth and Tina. Beth and me are 11 months apart, have always been close, but always fought a lot. I tell Beth who I plan on asking, and she's quick to say, I need to ask all of my sisters, and guilt trips me into it. Beth also, before I asked anyone, went and asked all of my friends if she was the maid of honor, which made me think I had to make her one or she would throw her usual temper tantrum that she throws when she doesn't get her way. So now Beth is my maid of honor, my friends are my bridesmaids, and Tina. Well, I ask, let's call them Lisa and Sue, my other 2 sisters. Sue says yes, of course. Then we come to Lisa, and her response was, who's all in it? So I tell her, and she never replies again.
That's crazy.
Is this the younger one, maybe? Maybe that was the younger one.
Maybe, but that's
Still crazy response.
So that's literally like, and being invited to a party and being like, who's going? But
Who's
like,
going? Is this someone
who's gonna
cool?
be in your bridal party? Like,
Not you, I guess.
Yeah.
So whatever, she's not in it. My fiance asks his 5 friends, my little brother, and Beth's father of her kids, who I'm pretty close with. 4 months into planning the wedding, my sisters, mom, and dad haven't asked me absolutely anything about the wedding. But Beth and Tina have. I went dress shopping, my sister Beth showed up, and my friends. This is where it gets messy. I ordered my save the dates, sent money for the stamps, and Beth sent them out for me. Everything good there. Month 6, I order my invitations. Again, I give them to Beth to send out. I feel like Beth didn't send these out.
That's where I feel like this is going.
There's around 60 to 70 invitations that cost around $300. Give them to Beth, and this time forgot to send her the money for stamps. She never asked for it, so it just slipped my mind with everything else I was doing and being in busy season at work. So I was working 7 days a week. Oof. A few days later, I stopped at her house, and the invitations are still there. So I asked when she was mailing. She said tomorrow. A week passes, and I noticed no one got the invitations, so I asked if she mailed them. She said yes. Another week passes, and still no one has got them. So I asked where she took them to mail them, and she said she dropped them in a blue mailbox and said not to worry. Don't order new ones. They'll come. A week later, still nothing. The post office is about 5 minutes from Beth's house. She never took the time to stop there or anything, so I made time and went, and they didn't have any information because they were dropped in the box. Beth's solution was to text me, put your phone on video and stick your phone in the box and see if you see them, and would text me every few days. LOL, I can't believe no one got them. I don't think they had any I don't think they had any stamps on them.
Oh my gosh.
I think she sent them without stamps.
Oh my gosh.
You fool. You absolute fool.
That definitely could have happened.
Yeah, it's been a month at this point, so I reorder them, get them, and send them. Everyone gets them in 2 days.
2 days!
And also, OP
2
spent
days.
$300.
Yeah.
So now we're at $600.
Yeah.
Beth asked me if she could have a +1 because she wanted a friend to come. This wedding is about $200 per person and around 100 people that are her family, so it didn't make sense to me,
wow.
but I said, okay. My bridesmaids and I went out for a night out, and Beth was drinking, telling the whole bar she's gifting me $500 towards my wedding dress. I got one, and after alterations, I didn't love it, so I got a second.
Oh, wow.
But she then never brought it up again or gave it. That's completely fine because I never put that in with my budgeting. The point is, why say it?
Yeah.
The bridesmaids wanted to get together 3 months before the wedding to discuss everything and go over everything because we haven't talked about the wedding much, and it was getting close. The day before our meetup at my house, I dropped all of my centerpieces and all of the glass vases broke. Oh, man. So I asked Beth if she could get me new vases. They were only like $50. I asked her because I had to work before they were coming over and only got off an hour before they were coming. She said, yeah, no problem. Girl, I don't believe this girl is going to do anything.
I don't believe it 1 second.
After the stamp fiasco, I'd just ask someone else.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just get off work. She texts me she's bringing someone, and I say, who? She says the name of her harmful ex-boyfriend.
Oh.
And I respond, absolutely not. She then calls all of the other bridesmaids and says, why are we even doing this? It's stupid. I'm about to not come. She had the nerve to tell me he couldn't come. Yeah.
What?
Because it's her thing.
Why are we even doing this?
Why are you even in this?
A wedding related thing? Like, it's because there's going to be a
thought
wedding.
Beth was married. A bridesmaid replied, we were going over to talk about the wedding. It's not about you or him. And are you still getting the vases? She said, no, I'm not doing anything for her. She isn't making me pay for everything. What have you paid for? I had all intentions of sending her the money for this. She did come, and the whole time she was there, she didn't speak a word. The next day, the guys are supposed to go to their tux fitting, and Beth texts me the father of her children doesn't have the money for the suit. I say, okay, what does that mean? He's not going? And she replies, I don't know. I then say, why don't you give him the 180 out of the 500 you said you were gifting me? Her reply is, he didn't even know he was in the wedding. There's no way he didn't know he was in the wedding. He's in the bridal party.
Yeah.
We talked about it multiple times, and he was invited to all bridal party activities, confirmed he was coming, was going to the tux fitting. She mentioned she talked to him multiple times about the wedding, so none of it made sense to me. I text him, and he says he expressed to Beth it made him uncomfortable because he's socially awkward and antisocial, and he can't see himself walking down an aisle months ago, and she was supposed to talk to me. What?
That's crazy, dude.
What?
That's crazy.
That's also, you suck, dude.
Yeah.
I like, if you're socially anxious, why'd you agree? Well, I guess maybe because he's socially anxious, he didn't know to turn it down.
He didn't want to
He's like,
confront.
ooh.
Yeah.
So we are now 3 months away from my wedding, one guy down, and the lineup being messed up.
Well, I know a girl that you can knock out of
I
the
know
wedding
a
party.
perfect person that you could take out of the bridesmaids. After all of this happened, me and 3 bridesmaids, including Sue, were on FaceTime discussing what to do. My fiance added my cousin's husband, who we are good friends with, and my cousin is a bridesmaid as well. We paid for his suit since it was so last minute to throw him in. Let's get to Sue. When I asked her, she said yes, but the first 5 months of planning, I'd text her about bridesmaid dress shopping, wedding dress shopping, the wedding, and she never once replied, would leave anything about the wedding on read, but text me about different things outside of the wedding. In the bridal group chat, she never once replied. When it came down to everyone getting together to discuss the wedding, she kept saying on her way and then never showed up. And when I asked why, she replied, I'm not dealing with all those people. At this point, I was frustrated and told her she didn't need to be in my wedding then. We went a month without talking. Then we made up, and I explained why I led up to punting her out, and if she promised to be more involved, she could be in the wedding if she wanted to be. And she said she wanted to be. We had a nice talk, and both were understanding and on the same page. So I thought,
oh,
this woman is exhausting.
Yeah.
Your sister is making way too much trouble. Sorry.
Ugh.
I put her back in the group chat, and she once again never responded, to the point that the other bridesmaids reached out to me with concerns because they were trying to plan a bachelorette party and bridal shower and needed to know if she was contributing or even coming. She texted me and asked me to sit her boyfriend at my father's table since she was in the wedding. Are you? Are you in the wedding? We haven't heard back from you.
And even if you are, like, you're not the wedding planner.
Nope.
You're just gonna go stand there and then, like, plan the bachelorette party. That's all.
Texted me about finding a new guy and not to let it stress me out. A week after finding a new guy for the lineup and everything, my cousin reaches out to her and asks if she's contributing, etc. And she said, I don't know what I'm doing. My cousin says, what do you mean? And she says, I returned my dress. I don't know if it'll be here in time. And I don't want to keep getting punted out, so I might not be in it. Dude,
like,
you're not in
I
it.
might not go. Like, I don't know. I might just, like, be feeling weird that day. I'll have to see what I'm doing.
I might, like, I don't know, get my nails done or something.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Like, no.
You're not in it anymore.
You're done.
If you're unsure, you're just not in it.
And then it's great because we don't have your crazy butt in the wedding. And then we also aren't uneven in the lineup anymore. Perfect. Works out.
My cousin replies, if that's the case, you need to tell her immediately. And she said, I don't know what I'm doing. I'll tell her later on. And my cousin said, if you don't want to tell her, I will. But she literally fixed this issue a week ago and she needs to know because her wedding is 3 months away. She didn't tell me, so my cousin did. And I texted her and said, do we need to talk about something? She replies, I'm just worried my dress won't be here 3 months from now? You think that your dress is not going to come within 3 months? So I told her I'd call and check, and I did, and they said it will be. I tell her and explain why I punted her out in the first place once again, and told her I thought we had a good talk before and we were both on the same page. And tell her this is the last time I'm going to ask if she's being in it or not, and if she couldn't be, that was fine. It was completely up to her. A day goes by, no reply. But she was texting my cousin the whole time. Then she finally replies, yes. My cousin then asks her about contributing because she had to book something ASAP. And she replies, I'm waiting to see if my dress is going to come in time. You freaking liar.
Yeah.
You know it is.
It's such a terrible excuse to like put your claws into and hang on.
Literally.
To. Like, come up with something better. Come on.
I then text her again to reassure her I talked to them and it will arrive in time. She leaves me on red and it's been a day, so I don't have an update on that. But I have an update on you guys being able to listen to full episodes of stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Oh.
But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts on what to do with this terrible, terrible sister Beth?
Get her out of there.
Yeah, I just wouldn't have her in the wedding.
Yeah.
If she's this back and forth, I'd be like, girl, I'm sorry. You're just not reliable.
I mean, it started off bad when she was like, okay, well, so that I avoid her tantrum, I'm going to make her my maid of honor. But she's not even doing any of the maid of honor stuff.
No.
Not unless you have to like hold her hand through it. And then even like planning the bachelor party, everyone else is doing that. And she's not even responding. Like, she's not there. She's not there.
She's not there.
She's like, she can come to the wedding, sure, but she's just not reliable for this. Like, you have a little bit of responsibility for the bridesmaids. Like,
and she can't meet that.
Come
so
on.
Bye. You're out of the wedding. Sucks to suck.
Yeah.
But there is a little bit left. Let's get to Dad. Him and Mom split up when I was young. He got remarried. She was never a fan of me, and I was never a fan of her. I was a 12-year-old little girl who wanted my parents together. She never got over it. So now, for the last 10 years, Dad hasn't invited me to any holiday get-together, but invites all of my other sisters. Hasn't come to any of my children's birthday parties, but makes it to my niece and nephew's parties.
Yikes.
Hasn't really been involved in my life at all. So I chose to have my 13-year-old son walk me down the aisle.
Aw, that's really cute.
I love that. Beth and Sue keep pushing to allow him to walk me down the aisle and how it will hurt him. Beth needs to shut up.
Yeah,
but
I don't.
They never put into consideration how it hurt me and my kids to basically be shunned from all holidays and family gatherings because they were invited and didn't know how it felt. He then starts texting me, am I walking you down the aisle? Nothing more, nothing less. Just is he doing it? At this point, I'm so fed up and feel like my wedding's a huge mind game for them to mess with me, and they're ruining the experience for me. So am I the a-hole for wanting to remove most of my immediate family from my wedding? I don't think... Okay, I think that you should remove them all from your wedding party. I don't think that they should have any involvement in the actual, like, you know, anything that's going on with the wedding. But I don't know if you should... I don't know if you have to uninvite them from the wedding itself.
Yeah, I mean, if the dad was already like not invited, then sure.
You keep him uninvited.
I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Your
agree.
Sisters,
yeah, you wouldn't be the a-hole for kicking them out of your wedding party for sure.
I agree.
I think do that because
they're useless.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like there are some people, you probably could keep in your wedding if you don't want to. Though, I mean,
it's completely up to you.
Yeah.
It just seems like most of the problems are coming from them not fulfilling the duties and responsibilities that you ask them to do. But if you just don't have any of those, then I feel like some of those problems will go away.
It might be good. Yeah.
But folks, that's the end of that story.
Wow.
So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you
and see you tomorrow.